Yes, our next talk is about sustainable supply chain management, an essential element in sustainability strategy of electronic manufacturers. And I wanted to welcome Tessa Quandt on the stage with a warm applause.
Thank you.
Tessa, before I hand over, I want to introduce who you are. Tessa Quandt is leading the development and implementation of VARTA's sustainability strategy since 2021. Previously, she advises the UAE Ministry of Energy and Infrastructure for 8 years on its journey towards sustainability, global leadership in energy, water, infrastructure, housing, and transportation. Tessa, as a warm-up, I have prepared some sentences you should complete. You know this from TV shows. My first experience with an ethical issue was.
I think that was stealing my brother's French fries. Obviously.
Okay. To me, the most inspiring person, company in terms of ethical issue is.
Excuse me, could you repeat that again?
To me, the most inspiring person or company in terms of ethical issues is.
Well, I think there are many inspirational people, and they're very famous, such as Malala Yousafzai or the likes. But to be honest, what inspires and motivates me every day are the people I meet along the way. Whether that's a farmer I met in Zimbabwe who empowers women by teaching them how to produce sanitary products, or whether that's a friend of mine who has made it her mission to alleviate hunger by collecting money for the underprivileged. Or whether that's my team, to be fair, a colleague who pushes me.
Okay. Last sentence. Please add 2 words to people, planet, profit, and rank them in terms of importance for you.
Innovative sustainability, I would add, I believe. I think without innovation, we can't become more sustainable. And I think they sort of go with each other.
Okay. This guides us back to sustainable supply chain management you want to talk about. Please, the stage is yours.
Thanks. Fantastic. Sorry, do I? Just you? Fantastic. Yep, that's works well. I hope you guys can hear me all well. Perfect, fantastic. Well, we're here today to talk about sustainable supply chain management. Basically, why is it so important? Besides the fact what Dr. Ackermann has already been saying, the regulatory landscape is changing and it's picking up. I will go into that and show a few details afterwards. But one of the major issues for corporates today is to include and integrate it into a business strategy and really make it a valid point. Start at ourselves. However, we also need to trickle it down. Sorry. But maybe something about us. We're a German battery manufacturer and have about 135 years of experience. We're market leaders in a wide range of battery solutions. And our mission is, through continuous investment in research and development, to set the benchmark in battery technology and customization to strive market leadership in our segments. Now I just want to show you the sustainability strategy framework. First of all, just to show you how they interact with each other. Each of those parts are intrinsically working with each other. I will go into, in a minute, into each of them, or partially into each of them, and show how they matter. First of all, who are our stakeholders? Dr. Ackermann has already said, we do have a lot of stakeholders, every one of us. Our main stakeholders are obviously, as we are a public company, share market participants, but as well as regulators, our customers, most importantly. But as we're talking about the supply chain, our suppliers as well, and employees and management. What we've done is we have conducted a materiality assessment with our stakeholders, and we have identified 14 important topics. They are called material topics. On the basis of those, we have developed business principles, and those are responsible sourcing, governance, gain, train, retain, environmentally compatible products, cleaner production, business ethics. What are we focusing on today is responsible sourcing. What issues or what challenges do we have? As already mentioned, one of our major issues is the changing regulatory landscape. That is generally, we have laws such as the due diligence supply chain law in Germany, new EU regulation, which is coming out by the day. And that puts us in front of quite strong challenges. Communicating internally within the company, but also externally to our stakeholders, to our suppliers, considering how far along we are along a supply chain, also making sure that the data is true and valid, ensuring that we have the right data. And then one of the major issues we do face over and over again is that there is no industry standard for supply chain management. We generally have the main issue that we as a supplier as well keep on receiving supply chain questionnaires, and each of them in different formats. So it's making sure that there's no supply chain audit fatigue or even questionnaire fatigue. And let's focus back on the changing regulatory landscape. As you can see, over the last 10 years, a lot has happened on a national level as well as on an EU or international level. Over and over again, there have become more and more laws. Most recently, the German supply chain law. Initially, and that's also something which you see along the line, is that some of these laws were voluntary. In the case of Germany, there was an NAP which was voluntarily, and unfortunately, only 1 out of 5 companies had adopted it. So therefore, the supply chain law comes into force in 2023. What have we done so far? We have found a process or are incorporating a process which consists of 3 pillars: commit, assess, and develop our suppliers. We have developed our supplier code of conduct further on the basis of the Amfori BSCI code of conduct, and also to ensure that we get some more transparency into our supply chain. We are committing our suppliers to ethical behavior. We've incorporated into our terms and conditions. Without those, they can no longer be our suppliers. Beyond that, we have a sustainability policy and responsible sourcing policy. Then we have a 3-pillar system for risk assessment. The analysis sort of goes on the basis also on country, amount procurement amount, but also industry and what we actually source from them. But beyond that, we have a self-assessment, issue screening through an AI-based platform, and we conduct a risk analysis. In the end, we're looking, after evaluating it, we're looking into our suppliers. If necessary, we trigger audits, and we work with them to improve them, since sustainability is a journey. Sorry. What can one do? What are quick wins? Those are those keywords which in corporates people do like hearing a lot. Well, one of the things is any sustainability department will tell you they cannot do the work by themselves. It's about a culture change within a company. It's establishing sustainability project teams across departments. Those will be able to quickly implement projects throughout the company, or in order to enhance knowledge, join industry associations and capacity platforms, building platforms. In our case, the Responsible Minerals Initiative is a great platform, has a lot of knowledge and really informs on very important topics. The same as a signatory of the UN Global Compact, there are accelerator programs on human rights which really do help a company build capacity throughout. What else? Transparency. I mean, I've already sort of touched on that, but basically data collecting, ensuring that you have the right KPIs, the right measurements, and really try to or implement and push it through your supply chain. And then supplier monitoring. There are many platforms now which really do give fantastic help in sort of being able to monitor your suppliers. And that would be it. I'll be open to questions. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Tessa. Please have a seat. I have a few questions for you. The Lieferketten-Sorgfaltspflichtengesetz, a great German word, in English supply chain due diligence law, also goes beyond taking measures in the supply chain. How far has VARTA progressed in the implementation of these measures, and what measures are also being taken in your own company with regard to due diligence?
I mean, I've already touched upon that in my presentation. It's a great question. I mean, beyond the 3-pillar commit, assess, and develop, we have adjusted a lot of our processes. For us, it comes into force, the German Supply Chain Due Diligence Act comes in 2 stages. So the first stage is from the 1st of January the coming year, and then for more companies it will be applicable from the year after. We have to comply from 2023. That is part of it. I believe that regulations do help give momentum. But to go back to your questions, we have worked very hard with different departments in order to adjust our processes. We're working very closely with product compliance on a lot of these topics, but also with the quality department generally, with the EHS, Environment, Health and Safety department. We're auditing our own companies as we speak. All our production sites are being audited on a social audit to first of all look into our own backyard before we even push other people to do more so. We really do want to make sure that we are as clean as it gets.
This sounds you're very more optimated to be successful in this process. What role do VARTA cooperation principles you have described play in the daily work of the employees?
Our business principles are basically rooted in our code of conduct. Mm-hmm. So, and our code of conduct is, handed out to every single one of our employees. So we really ensure that our business principles are actually lived and not just on paper. Mm-hmm.
You also mentioned complexities, complex supply chains and the quality and data availability of challenges for responsibility sourcing. Have you found ways to deal with these challenges?
As I already briefly mentioned, we we make use of the platforms available, such as an AI-based platform, which basically screens all news media outlets worldwide of all of our suppliers. Those are immense helps along the way, and they obviously are very time efficient.
Last question.
Okay.
What topics do you think will become more important for supply chains in our industry in the coming years?
I mean, as I already slightly mentioned, I think due diligence will become a major issue, or not major, but major topic, and will gain more and more momentum. I mean, climate change will stay, and especially in regards to the 1.5 degree target, we will 100% not lose that, but a big focus will go on human rights and due diligence in the supply chain.
Okay, you know, you can see VARTA is our sponsor, and VARTA is not one of the few companies not talking about ethics, and it's great that you explained to us how you go this way, and that is not an easy way, but it's necessary to go. Thank you very much, Tessa Quandt, for your presentation.
Thank you.
Thank you.